Hello everyone. I was saying well and one at the same time. That's why it sounded that way. I apologize. Welcome everyone. Good morning on Tuesday, or if you are anywhere else but the Pacific and Mountain and Central time zone, good afternoon. So welcome or even good evening if you're over on the other side of the pond. Wherever you are, hello. Welcome. This is a series that I'm doing on Tuesdays that's called It Belongs in a Museum, to which you should respond, so do you, because that's the cool thing to do. Bushman is here. Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon, Bushman. Good to see you, Eric and Tom. Hello, good to see you too, buddy. Thank you for being here, everyone. So what we do on It Belongs in a Museum is we take two games off of my collection and we take a deeper dive into that game. We open the box, we show the components, we talk about why it's still in my collection. We talk about how much I want to get it back to the table, if it's going to stick around. The possibility of that is bat around a little bit as well. So there's a lot of different things that's there. Stephen Peterson is here. How's it going? Good to see you, Stephen. It's going well. Thank you for being here. We appreciate that. So we're gonna that's basically what we do on It Belongs in a Museum. We simply take down a couple of games that's been on my shelves for quite some time, and we take a look at them, open them back up, get a fresh pair of eyes on them, if you would. So that's what we're going to do. I've got a couple of candidates that are sitting over here on the table, and I think that you'll enjoy this episode. The first one that we're going to talk about is from 2008. 2008. That was four and four. Wow, 2008. That was 16 years ago. Yes, it took me that long to do basic math. That probably diminishes your view of me, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. No problems at all. It took me that long to figure out that this is a 16-year-old game. It's put out by Martin. Well, it's not put out by. It was designed by Martin Wallace, put out by Mayfair, among other people. It looks like Cosmos, Ubik, Stupor Mundi, Sophisticated Games, Mayfair Games, Lotte Palit, Kaisa Chess and Games, and De Vere have all had a part in producing this game. Hand management, ownership, tile placement, track movement, and worker placement are all mechanisms employed by this game. What else can we talk about? Before we let the cat out of the bag, as it were, artist is Joe Hartwig. Plays 2 to 4 players. 45 to 60 minutes, ages 10 and up. And the weight is a 2.17 out of 5, according to the Board Game Geek community. It is ranked, its overall ranking is 3,635. It is ranked 1,592 among strategy games, and among family games, it's ranked 1,158. It has an overall rating of 6.3 out of 10. And that has just over 2,100 rankings. There are 636 comments on this game. Anybody want to take a stab? I know, it's like clear as mud, right? Did it make your top 10? No, it did not make my top 10. It it did make my top 100. I think. I'm pretty sure it did. Man, I'm gonna feel real stupid if it didn't. but I am almost positive that it did. If it didn't, I will cry foul and havoc and let slip the dogs of war on myself. Let's see. TI4? No. TI4 was not 2008. TI4 was much younger than that. I'm going through. Okay, I'm out of my 20s. Now I'm in the 30s. I know this is riveting, isn't it? I'm just giving you guys time to think more about it. I'll let you sleuth your way. Ooh, almost pulled that one down to talk about it, but it's not quite old enough, in my opinion. That would be a good one to talk about. That's probably next week. Let's see. In my 50s now. There's the other one that we're talking about today. Now I'm in the 60s. Man, I'm telling you, it better be here. Dude, if it isn't, I'm going to smack myself in the head. I think it is. It's got to be. Because it should be. 80s. Oh, man, I'm starting to really doubt myself now. Dude. Nah, this had to be. Nuh-uh. 90s. Nuh-uh. It is not in my top 100, unless I missed it. Bushman, I knew it. I knew it. I said it was a family game, and you immediately went to TI4. No, sir. I'm trying this again because, oh gosh, man. Okay, it's criminal that it's not in my top 100 if it isn't in my top 100 because it really should be. But to be fair, there are a lot of good games in my top 100. So I can see how this is like just totally missed it. And I think that's probably what it is. Since I don't believe it's in my top 100, it's definitely in my top 120 because I went and I did parse it out to 120 this year. And so, man, it is not in my top 100. So it's got to be in my top 120, and I'm pretty sure it is. Both of these games. The other one that I said that we're doing today is in my top, where was it? It was in my top 50 or so. Yeah, it's 59. So that should help you sleuth it out a little bit better. What is he looking for? Don't show up late. Be here on time so I don't look like an idiot. TI4 is the shelf behind him. How do old games have to be talked about? How old do games have to be talked about? They just simply have to... they don't necessarily have to be a certain age. But this episode, I specifically looked up. I had like 5 different games that I had possibilities to talk about. And then I just picked, out of those 5, some of the older ones, two of the older ones. So there isn't an arbitrary age to be talked about here. The main thing for this series is that it's on my shelf. And then from there, do I want to pull it out? Do I want to talk about it? Do I want to do that? Yes. Okay, well, let's pick ones that are older. So that's kind of the rubric that I go through. It's not really a rubric, but that's a fun word to say. What is he looking for? His mind? That is correct, Eric. Thank you very much. I am looking for my brain. If the game he is going to be talking about was on his top 100, yes, I hope he finds it. Hola, Matthew. Good to see you. I hope I find it too. And I know you were talking about my brain. So that's fine. All right. Without further ado, the game that we are going to talk about and show off first from 2008. Martin Wallace designed it, put out by the edition that I have is put out by Mayfair. It's 2 to 4 player game, ranks 36, 35 overall, has a 6.3 rating on the Geek, and that is Toledo. Toledo is a neat game where you are basically crafting. You're trying to craft the greatest sword that has ever been made. This is what the back of the box says. Central Spain, AD 1600. You play a member of a family famous for making exquisite swords from renowned Toledo steel. By engaging the services of the skilled swordsmiths, you hope to present the finest and most beautiful swords ever crafted to the great emperor of the Spanish Empire. These strong, sharp, and often gem-laden weapons, magnificent works of arts and swordcraft, provide your pathway to power and glory. Travel the hilly streets of Toledo to acquire the fine metals and gems you need to craft these beautiful swords. Get your swords forged and carry them to the Grand Alcazar Palace. You might also visit the artist studio of El Greco and invest in some of his works, but beware. Toledo can be a dangerous place. You may face duels, sword fights to protect your honor and position. In the end, whoever presents the best set of swords to the emperor claims the great glory and victory. So that's what we're talking about. It is a casual, social board game for 2 to 4 players. Playing time averages around an hour and a half, 90 minutes. So this is what we're looking at today. We'll go ahead and put that down so that people can see what the back of the box looks like. And just busting on you, Sam. I know, Heller Moons, I'm not sweating you. I'm just going along for the ride, having fun, that's all. Original Maverick is here. Love a Martin Wallace game. This one always sounded fun. My sword would be made of plastic, Matthew Vinson says. Well, 3D printing is a thing nowadays, so we're not going to worry about that at all. This is a good idea of what the game looks like as before we open the box and all that kind of stuff. So Mayfair did a great job producing the game. I will say that. There's as far as today's standard, I think the artwork is good, but I think with today's artists and the different breakthroughs that they have with, artwork today, we are spoiled today. This is good artwork, but I think it's not as good as much of what we see today. But we'll go ahead and get this opened, and we'll get this going here in just a little bit. So here is the rule book. As you can see, this is designed by Martin Wallace. Now, Martin Wallace does have a name for designing some pretty heavy games, but you'll see that the rule book here is not very long at all. So we have a way for you to set up the game. You have gameplay starting to be described here, and then you have end of the game right here. Not a difficult rule set whatsoever, but designed by one of the OGs in the industry. Well, that card, well, look at that mess. Yep, you know it. All right, so here is the board as it looks. And what's basically going to happen here is you'll have a number of different stacks of different kinds of swords down here. You'll have some gems that are over here. You'll have other pieces that are over here. And then you'll have cards that are placed out on all of these things that go up into the palace up here. And once we get up here, then you're going to be able to present your swords and so forth. But again, I like the look of the board. The board is not bad. It is picturesque. It is aesthetic, I guess you could say. Back of the board is nothing. So there you have it. That's the board. Now we have all of these cards. So we'll talk about this in just a minute. These are money cards, actually, as you can see here. but they do have a couple of different uses, and it has been so long since I played this game, I would not be able to accurately recount what all of those uses are. I know this has something to do, I know this has something to do with the duel that you're going to be possibly getting into over the course of the game. But all of these cards are, and this is one of the reasons why I want to open up these games, because I want to make sure that you know, the components aren't degrading or anything like that, and really I don't think they are. But so we have those artistry cards. And we have a whole bunch of these cards here. So let's get the correct names for these things out here, shall we? So we have 90 game cards, movement cards, and El Greco paintings. So here we have El Greco paintings. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, and 1, 1, 1, and 2. So all of these different El Greco paintings are in there. And then all of these movement cards is basically what they are. So you're going to be moving these different spots, and then they also have these descriptions down here that are used during the dueling parts of the board. So, and I'm not going to go through all of this like that, but you kind of get the idea with those cards. Now, you also have some of these guys right here. These are just the, let me see if I can get it. It's on a part of the board that isn't, here, I'll just do that. So on this part of the board, you'll have the iron bars kind of set out here, like so. And then we'll do that. And then you also have some of these gems here that can be used, set out right there. So again, we have component quality now that is, you know, much better, but it's still pretty stinking good, you know what I'm saying? As far as this goes. So I am going to be separating. So all of these different things here, these are different shops and different places that you'll be able to go throughout the course of the game. Some of them have 2 spots, that means 2 people can go there. Some of them only have 1 spot, it means only 1 person can go there at a time. So that's out of the board, so we'll do that. These are player colors as well. So we also have these pawns that are used for each. These are the workers that each of the players are going to be sending out. So, and they're pretty nice looking pawns as well. They're not chintzy at all. So this is a game that really kind of had a really aesthetic look. And the aesthetics of the game have diminished over time, of course, because, you know, so many different advancements are made with components and how to make them and what to use for them, and the prices of all of the different components go up and down and so forth. So, but anyway, you can see how each of these places kind of has, you know, all that stuff on there. Is that on the screen? Yeah, it is. Good. So I'm, again, just trying to show components of the game. You know, we're not really getting too detailed here just yet. But here we have the different duels that you may or may not encounter. So again, and then the different kinds of swords. It's there. And then if you have the jeweled swords, they're a little bit more expensive to make. Different kinds of duels that are going to happen that could come up on the board, movements and that kind of thing. So all of these components are pretty stinking cool. and how they work together is cool too. So basically you have movement, that's pretty much it. You have the box organizer that was pretty standard back in the day for people that, companies that wanted to make good inserts and so forth. So that gives you kind of an idea. So these are fencing skill tiles, and then there are movement skill tiles as well. That can help you move and do things throughout the course of the game. These sword tiles, there are 19 of them altogether, and so there are 2s, 3s, 5s, and 7s, and then these are 4, 8, and 12 and 15. And I believe those are how much points it's worth. This is what you have to make to build it. So you have to use 1 iron bar, and you have to have 1 jewel to make this sword. You have to have 3 iron bars and 3 gems to make this one, 4 iron bars and 4 gems to make that one. So that gives you an idea. These just require iron bars. And this is how many points the sword's going to be worth at the end of the game after you make those up. General gameplay, you're going to perform one of the following actions. You take 2 movement cards, place 1 business tile, which are these things. And that's going to happen mostly in the beginning of the game. Or you're going to move 1 or more of your pieces and trade with them. Or you can move 1 piece back to the cathedral. Only in rare cases, see page 4. You can take 2 movement cards, place 1 business tile, move 1 or more of your pieces, or move your piece back to the cathedral. And you're basically just moving through, constructing pieces. You want people to basically use your businesses and that type of thing to make their stuff. So it's a really cool game. I want to play this. I wish I could play it right now, matter of fact, because I think I will enjoy it that much, even still. I like tile placement, which is largely taken care of by this. It's a different kind of tile placement. You're really trying to get people to go to your shops to do that. But I like the track movement of moving through the town of Toledo. Crafting swords is a cool theme. I like that as well. The component quality is good. Not as good as what you'd probably be used to today, but I think it still holds its water. Because I think while the components aren't super nice, they are also still very good. Do you think they might reprint that game? I don't think so. You're halfway set up. Let's see you play the game, right? Bags, Sam. New thing called bags for organization. Wow. Yeah. Well, I know. Okay. Let's see. Do you think they might reprint the game? I don't think so. I think it's. I mean, it's Martin Wallace. Who knows? The guy's name garners a lot of attention, and but I don't think they're going to reprint this one. But you never know. One of my things about this is that we're not necessarily focusing on these because I think there's going to be a reprint. What I'm hoping comes out of this is that your attention is garnered to a game that you will probably enjoy, and you'll be able to pick it up at like a used shelf or something like that for really cheap, and you'll be able to get a lot of good mileage out of it because you only paid $20 for it or $10 or whatever. That's what I'm hoping to bring out of this. Maybe I'll bring something to your attention that you might see it at a garage sale or a flea market or something like that, and pick it up for really cheap and have a lot of fun with it. That's what I'm hoping. Is it out of print? I would imagine that it is. I can't imagine that this is still being made. But, I mean, who knows? Toledo board game. Tom reviewed Toledo on September 16th, 2008. So there you have it. I reviewed it 8 years later, February 11th, 2016. Oh, well, look at that. Mayfair Games sale, Toledo, $49. Wow. Hopefully you don't have to play that much. Here is the games are here. Looks like $20. That's better, but it is a pre-owned copy. So it looks like you can see $15 over here, pre-owned, $20 over there, pre-owned. $34 University Games. So, I mean, but I don't think it's still in print. I think it is out of print. The copies you're gonna find are just ones that are left over, I think. I don't think it's being made anymore, but I could be wrong. So, yeah. Hate those ads. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm getting stupid ads. They keep cutting them off. I'm sorry. What year did this come out? 2008. Anthony's, thank you for being here. Decent components for a 16-year-old game. That is correct, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. For a 16-year-old game, these are really nice components. The cardboard, tiles are pretty good. Yeah, the print is a little bit off-centered, but I mean, that's on the back, but it's not that bad. Nuno Rebello is here. Hello, chat gang. Good to see you. Weird meeples. Well, they're kind of like, I guess they're supposed to be kind of mimicking the kinds of hats they may have been wearing or something to that effect. But yeah, they're more like pawns than they are meeples. So there you have it. Sweet. Interesting theme. Dice Odyssey. Hello, Cos. Good to see you. Those pieces remind me of the games of my childhood. Cheap. Right up my alley. Well, there you have it. So that is Toledo. And this is a game that I have talked about a lot. I've just really enjoyed it. Oops. Over the course of the years. And I think it's one of those things where, I put those in the wrong bag. Okay. Let's go back up here top. So I'm sure watching me put games away is not very fun. But you are correct. Actually, I honestly believe that, because I store this game flat, and I think most of that disarray came when I flipped the game over. And a lot of these games back in the day, they wanted you to keep the punch-out boards, and so that the insert was lifted up, and I never did that. So that's one of the reasons why. But these little guys go back in here, like so, and then their boards go right on top of them. So green goes right there, yellow goes right there, red goes right here, and blue goes right here. So if you can see here how this is all going back in, pieces go inside, see that? And then this sits on top of it. So let's see, what is this? Yeah, let's just do this. I'm not going to worry about putting these in order. The insert is not a bad insert. I just probably don't store it very well. We'll put these in here, like so. And we have these cards, can go over here, I guess. And we've got actually a lot of open space for a number of different things, so they could be really for anything. But that's what the game looks like in its storage bin. And then once we close this up, we'll put this on there, and then see that little bit of space right there? Just a little bit of space above the top. That should have been taken up by me leaving the punch-out boards in the bottom and setting the storage case on top. But because I didn't do that, well, we have issues when storage is happening. Let's see, so I've got that correct. Let's put this in here like that. And then this will go here like that. And that will put this box right here. And now we are all set. That's Toledo. So I really want to get that one to the table again. We have so many games we have to play. Next week, we're going to start taking games off the shelf and playing older games on Tuesdays. I've talked to Jesse about that, and that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use Tuesdays as our throwback Tuesdays. So we can do that. Looks about Ticket to Ride size. Any boards might work. That's true. I could do that. I do have a number of different punch outs, but what we usually been doing is we give punch outs to Jessie, and she takes them to the preschool, and the kids love using them as stencils, making little forts out of them. They just love that. So that's pretty much what we're doing. Labels, Sam, labels. I know. Who do you think would enjoy it more if you play it, Jesse or JT? Probably Jesse. JT does tend to like heavier games that really stretch your brain pan. Jessie likes the, she's a little bit more like me. She likes having a lighter weight game that she can interact with other people with. JT and Mel, really, they both like games where they have some interaction, but I'm doing my thing and we're going to interact out here, but I'm going to be doing my thing over here and that kind of stuff. Tuxedo Tuesday needs to be a thing. No, I don't need to be wearing tuxedos. I don't think that would be a good thing at all. All right. The next game that we're going to talk about today was published in 2007. So this one is 17 years old and designed by Jason C. Hill. The artist was Jack Scott Hill. The overall rank on Board Game Geek is 950. So this is in the Board Game Geek top 1,000 games. In the thematic category, it is no less than number 282 ranked on the Geek. Mechanisms employed are dice rolling, hand management, modular board, roll, spin, and move. No, say it ain't so. It's a team-based game with variable player powers. So there you have all of the little clues that we can give you as far as that's concerned. Publisher was two publishers, Hobby Base, and this one's probably going to give it away, so I'll wait to say that. It plays 2 to 6 players, 60 to 90 minutes, and it has a 2.3 weight out of 5 for a complexity rating. Publishers, again, were Hobby Base and Flying Frog Productions. Does that give it away? I think it might. Hope everyone gives this video a like. Already did. Thank you, Nuno. Thank you, Anthony's. I appreciate that. Thanks for a reminder. Yes. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Flying Frog Productions, 2007. Anybody got a choice? Anybody got a guess? Anyone, anyone, anyone? Come on. Oh, skip ads. We're going to skip ads. Ads skipped. There you go. I don't know if that helps everybody, but it helped me. Kabuki Kid is here. Hello, hello. We're waiting, Kabuki, for people to have a guess. So far, of the next game that we're talking about, we've already talked about Toledo, so you can go back and check that out, Kabuki, if you want. But we're bringing out the next game we're going to be talking about is a 60 to 90 minutes TI4. What is wrong with you, Eric? Flying Frog, Shadows of Brimstone. No, that's not correct. Fortune and Glory. No, Tom. Thank you for trying. It was published in 2007 by Flying Frog Productions. The designer is Jason C. Hill, and the artist is Jack Scott Hill. Dawn of the Zeds? No. One more chance. Someone, can you pick it out? 2007, Flying Frog Productions, 2007. Oh, can you do it? Although Dawn of the Zeds is really close, really close. Fortune and Glory is coming back, new printing apparently. Donkey Baseball? What? Donkey Baseball? Is that even a game? I didn't think that was a game. Now I gotta look it up. Donkey Baseball. Donkey Baseball? No, that can't be right. Of course it isn't right. That's you again. That's you again pulling my chain, Matthew. I got you. Stumped. All right. Well, this one's a little bit of a heavier game. Ugh. Last Night on Earth. Last Night on Earth. This one is most definitely in my top 100 games. I believe we said earlier it was number 59 in my top 100 games. And this, oh, I've already upset the order of the universe. I have to fix this. Oh no. See, I've got bags in there. Okay, now the order of the universe is corrected. Last Night on Earth. 2008. Monopoly. No. Last Night on Earth, the zombie game. When night begins to fall on the sleepy town of Woodenvale, the shadows and fog rolling in bring with them more than just a chill shiver. A living nightmare erupts as the once peaceful community is overrun with the restless dead scratching and clawing their way to the surface with an insatiable hunger for human flesh. Now, only a handful of unlikely heroes are left, banding together to fight for their very lives on a night that never ends. The only thing worse than death is becoming infected. All right, so this is a fast-paced, brain-eating zombies, small-town heroes, and horror movie action. Players take on the role of either the heroes working together to make it through the night or the zombies. Unending waves of undead spreading over the town like a plague, featuring a modular board, 8 heroes to choose from, and multiple different scenarios that drastically change the game. Last Night on Earth is designed to create a cinematic feel as the story and game unfold. So that is pretty much what it does. You actually also have, I don't know if it's in the box anymore, but there's actually a CD soundtrack included. If you don't know what a CD is, kids, go Google that. They still have CDs today. But one of the first things that you guys know I like this game. So period, end of discussion, full stop. Let's move on. But one of the things that I didn't really ever enjoy about the game was the real pictures that were used in the graphic design. Now, I get it. It gives it that real kind of B-movie, zombie, campy feel, and I get it. I totally get it. But it's one of the things that I didn't really like about the game to begin with. But it's still number 59 on my top 100 games after all of this time. So that should say something about it. Let's see here. I remember you talking about. I remember Sam talking about that game. Live play, please. That could be a thing in the very near future. I know this game. Remember Sam loved it. Is it co-op? Well, it's a team game. So if you have four, you can have 2 to 6 players. And if I'm not mistaken, you can have 2 people that are. You can have half you can have 2 people controlling the zombies, and then the rest of the people are controlling heroes. I believe that's how it is. But again, that's kind of just off the top of my head. Let's go ahead and get this open. Now, I am not going to vouch for the cleanliness of the inside of this box, but I do know, because I saw them as I opened it a few seconds ago, that there are indeed baggies being employed in this. So I know Bushman will be very happy about that. So here is the rule book, and you can kind of see that the rule book is pretty dense, and there are quite a number of pages. Let me see how many pages altogether. 23 pages altogether, but you'll notice that the last 2 pages are credits, FAQs, hero profiles, scenario notes, and so forth. So and then the advanced game starts on page 18. So if you're looking at base game stuff, you're really talking about 17 pages of rules here, and you know you've got all of this kind of stuff in here. But it's large print, so again, there isn't a whole lot that's going on. And there are antiquated examples. You know, in our rule books today, these would all be very colorful, and they'll actually have, you know, parts of the board out there and shown and that kind of thing. So it does show its age a little bit in the rule book, but I think you get the idea. Not a very dense rule book, but there is a lot of stuff in here. So there you have the rule book. Then I do have multiple expansions in here as well. So we have Blood in the Forest expansion. So this is basically new scenarios and stuff like that, new things that come in the game and so forth. So you get that. The hero pack, I've got that, and then I have zombies with the grave weapons. So there's that as well. So I do have a lot of stuff for the game, but as you're looking at some of the stuff here, these are some of the boards that you're going to be using. This is the sun track. So basically, you have to last basically until dawn, and that's the general gist of most of the things that are out here. But you have more tiles. All right, let's see here. How do I want to do this? Well. Oh yeah, check it out. Sweet. I didn't think I had it anymore, but I do. And it's broken. That makes sense. Oh, that's cool. I wish I could play this. Oh, that's funny. Love it. So that's what a CD is, kids. See, there you go. You're learning about culture. I'm going to get some more of these tiles out so that you can see some other parts of the board. So you kind of get the idea. It's a super modular board. A lot of these came in the expansions, but you have some buildings like this is the pickup. You can pick up the pitchfork right here. This is the barn. You have the farmhouse over here. Over here you have the general store. You got a gun shop. You have the plant over here. You've got the high school. So it's all that kind of stuff. And generally these boards would be put around the outside of the main board, depending upon. Oh man, I'm just dropping stuff. So for example, there may be, this main board or this main board and this main board, and then these would be kind of fitting around it like so. And it kind of determines where you can go and all of that other kind of stuff. So you kind of get the idea. You have the heroes. Let's see, what is this called? Where's the freaking... I don't know. This is like City Hall or the mayor's house or something like that. The airfield office, or just a bunch of woods. So again, I think the tiles, and I liked the modular nature of the tiles. I really enjoyed that a lot. The different scenarios that you could come through on these, on some of them at least. So defend the manor house, that was one of the things that you saw. Die, zombies die. Hunt for survivors. So you can just see the number of different scenarios that come in the game. And again, these are, this is combined. This is not just the base game, but we also have hero characters that are here. So let's get that out. And so here we have a couple of zombie characters that can come out. The zombie behemoth and the feral dead. Those are a couple of things. And then you have different hero characters that are out here. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of hero characters. But again, realize that I do have the hero pack expansion in here. So you have Agent Carter and Victor. And you have Becky, the nurse. And you have Jake Cartwright, the drifter. You have Sheriff Anderson, the small town lawman. Billy, the sheriff's son. Johnny, the high school quarterback. Mr. Goddard, the chemistry teacher. And these are all real people that had their pictures taken in cosplay. Jenny, the farmer's daughter. And Jade, the high school outcast. Stacy, the investigative reporter. Sally, the high school sweetheart. And, Father Joseph, man of the cloth. And then Sister Ophelia, the reformed nun. So those are the different, and again, super tropish, super just, wow, really? They really kind of leaned into that whole B-movie zombie thing. Yes, they absolutely did. Zombies come in a couple of different colors. You have this kind of sickly green color, and then you have a brownish color. But that denotes the two different kind of factions, I guess you could say, that the two different zombie players could play. You have crawlers, like this guy right here. I'll show these off in a little bit with my phone. I did have those set up so that you could do that, but that'll give you an idea of the different people that are out here. And then you have zombies with grave weapons. So you have not just people that are walking around, but they actually have weapons on them. So that was one of the expansions as well. Let me go ahead and show some of these a little bit closer up, and I think that'll give you a pretty cool look at them at least. So as we look at them here, so those are some of the ones that have the grave weapons on them. And then some of these other ones are just like, you know, there's a dude with a pitchfork, a zombie with a pitchfork. So that's pretty cute, pretty cool. That crawler right there, that's pretty neat as well. There's one with the scythe. So there's another one, just a regular old zombie. So you kind of get the idea. And more of them are over here, like that. But we also, we'll go back here real quick so I can use my hand. Then you also have some of these other zombie dudes that are out here. And these are, you know, let's just put them up here like this. The feral dead zombies. And then you have the zombie behemoth. There's a couple of those as well. So let's show those off. Just because we can, and it's fun. That's one of the things I love about miniature games, man. They're so fun to show off sometimes. So the zombie behemoth, as you can see, just super huge. And then the feral dead. And then you know, kind of, that shows you how big the zombie behemoth is by comparison to the other zombies that are out there. So, pretty neat. I like it. Put that back down there. And then we've got the... we've got a lot of the different, you know, heroes. And I'll just go ahead and just try to put them up here. Oh, yeah. Some of these are bent pretty well. So I'm going to have to get some hot water on these things. Wow, I don't even want to show them. That looks horrible. I don't like it. So anyway, I'll show some of the ones that are still in pretty good shape, and I'll have to give some hot water treatment to those other ones. But there's a lot of cool poses with these miniatures. They're not, you know, they're not super great minis, but I will say this. For this being a 17-year-old game, these minis are pretty good. Pretty stinking good. You know, we got a couple that are kind of, they should have had a V8 and whatnot, but you kind of get the idea here in a second. I think you'll see pretty good that these are some pretty nice miniatures for a 17-year-old game. And I know it's a little blurry, so I'll try to get them a little bit more focused there, but you kind of get the idea. These are pretty nice stinking miniatures for being 17 years old. And I think this is one of the games that really stands on its own 2 feet. Is that JT as a zombie? I mean, that one right there? I think that might be. I think that might be JT. You never know. I didn't know he was a miniature model back in the day, but I think you might be correct. That might be JT. That's pretty cool. Did they 3D print those 17 years ago, or that what would have been the process? No, these are mold injected. These are all mold injected miniatures, and they were not 3D printed. These are all production quality. But again, this is like 17 years old production quality, which was, for that day, pretty stinking good. I mean, hopefully you get the idea, though. But that's one of the reasons why this game is really kind of stuck around for me, is because while I do have that little misgiving of not liking the models, I forgot the nun. Oh, man. That's okay. The nun's right here. She looks pretty cool. She's holding up a cross. Back, demons! Now, these are also, I have the cards sleeved, which for me is a rarity. But some of the different cards that are out here, you've got, you know, first aid kits, revolvers, ammo, Hero's Sacrifice. These are cards that you can play during combat and stuff like that. Fire axe. Get back, you devils! Play to kill any zombie beaten in a fight, even if no doubles were rolled. So, just what I needed. You can play immediately. This is an event card. So there's items and events and all that other kind of stuff. And so it is kind of it's not card driven, but it has card play in it. And that's one of the things that I liked about it. So there's a number of different kinds of guns that have, you know, different kinds of, like a signal flare is a weapon with a range of 4. You can target one zombie within range, roll a d6. The zombie is killed on a roll of 2 or higher. You discard when fired. So it's pretty cool stuff. But you also have things like a crowbar, more ammo, Hero's Rage, fire extinguishers, a pitchfork, a chainsaw, gasoline. So these are all just neat things that you'll find around. And I will say, looking at it again, I'm not as bothered by the artwork as I used to be. I'll say that. So these, I believe, are These are cards that can be played on the zombie side. That's why they have a different color on them. These are for zombies, not for the heroes. The heroes had the green backs on them. But these are cards that can be played by the zombie players to make them a little bit more, effective in going against the heroes. Then you have, you have player aids, hero turn summaries that you can pass around. And I believe you also have ones for the zombies as well. Here are the dice that are employed. So just regular old 6-sided dice. A bunch of different tokens that are in the game as well. So component quality for this is pretty stinking high. Now, again, I want to make sure it's clear this has multiple expansions in it. This is much more than just the base game. But I do think it's important to note that the component quality is pretty stinking good for this. And for crying out loud, it comes with its own CD soundtrack. How about that? That's something else, isn't it? So that is Last Night on Earth. I think it is a game that has really stood the test of time well. I really, upgraded zombies. What? I forgot about these. So hero upgrades, and then there are some zombie upgrades as well. Grave Danger, Breakdown, Every Man for Himself. You'll only make them mad. Anytime a zombie is wounded, you may choose any zombie to immediately move 1 space on the D6, roll a 4+. This must observe the rules for zombie hunger. That's pretty cool. Hero upgrades, boxing, escape plan, attack plan, improvised weapon, shoulder holster. The hero may carry 1 extra gun. This does not count against their carrying limit. Running gun. The hero can now take their ranged attack step at any time during their movement. So these are cool little upgrades for both zombies and heroes. That's cool. I'm glad I saw those. So let's see. Does this game play quite similarly to Zombicide? Well, I wouldn't say that. But I will say that this was pre-Zombicide. So I would probably have to play the two and see where that goes from there on. I'm not really sure. Kabuki Kid still buys CDs. That's funny. I think kids know what CDs are, even if they don't use them anymore. That's correct. No cassette tape version? No, Bushman. Live in the now. 8-track? 8-track. I don't think people know what 8-track is anymore. I know what 8-track is. My grandpa used to have a truck that had an 8-track player in it. No, not my uncle. No, not my grandpa. My uncle did. Box art reminds me of a 70s movie poster. That's exactly what they were going for, Tom. So we'll come back up top here. Let's see here. Edison cylinder. Huh? Edison cylinder? I don't know what that means. So weird seeing Best Buy getting rid of all the physical media now. Yeah, I know, Cost, isn't it? It's really strange. Nostalgia smacks me across the face hard with physical media. That is correct. Got stock in Ziploc. Oh, you do? Really? That's pretty cool. I don't think that's ever going to go away. Derek says, hello, Cost. Hello, Derek. Good to see you. Snuck in, did ya? Yes, he did. First time I saw a live play of this game was on Will Wheaton's tabletop. Didn't like it much. What? Huh. I'm gonna guess. I'm just gonna put myself out there, and I'm gonna say that you probably didn't like the game because, with me, or in my opinion, a lot of the times, and I think this was a problem with Will Wheaton's show, not a problem with Will Wheaton himself, but the problem with Will Wheaton's show is that it took people that were actors, because those were his friends and that kind of stuff, and people close to him, and it wasn't ever really for sure I never really felt like the people playing the game liked the game. They were just acting like they were enjoying the game. That's the vibe that it gave me sometimes. And I wonder if maybe you picked up on that a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe you just didn't like the gameplay and whatever, but there's that. Snuck into the back pew on the flip side. That's funny. Looks like it would be more fun with more players. Does the gameplay quite similar to Zombicide? Already talked about that. Just noticed the CD there. Music for theme. I probably missed the explanation on that. That is exactly what it is. Sam has hero packs for every game that comes with them. Very B-movie, horror, tropey, very much so. Is this one of the earlier zombie genre games? I think so. I think so, Tom. Wonder if there is a fan-made solo or co-op version on BGG. There might be. I haven't looked into that. Did they 3D print? Oh, no. Okay. I tend to like Flying Frog, and yeah, they have good components, even back in time. That is correct. I wonder if the new version of Fortune and Glory is still going to have a CD. I don't know. We'll have to see. They love putting CDs in their games. That's correct. CD player is going the way of the VHS player, which is to say going the way of the Dodo. That is correct. The old plastic miniatures are better quality than today's. The 99-cent Army Men from 60s and 70s still holding up, thicker, solid. Yeah, but those molds, dude, those molds were horrible. And I don't think they were very good. I get that the plastic holds up, but the detail just is not there. I think these are very good miniatures, especially considering the fact that they're 17 years old. I think miniature production has come a long way since then, and for these to be this good, I think the only thing that I don't like about them is that they are that soft plastic that can very easily be kind of put out of whack in a mold or something like that. It's fixable easily with some hot water and a little bit of time, but you know, that's just not right. You can see how he's kind of leaning forward, and he shouldn't be. He should actually be standing up straight like this. So this is what he should look like, but this is what he's doing. He should have had a V8, absolutely. And this little girly here, same thing. They just got stuck in the wrong side of the plastic bag. It's easily fixed. That's the only thing I can say about these miniatures negatively. Everything else is super good. I love the fact that the miniatures look this good. I haven't looked at them in a while, and these are really nice looking miniatures. And that's just the long and the short of it. So, we'll let you know I pre-ordered it. Oh, okay. I own the original Fortune and Glory Kabuki kit set. I wonder if this will finally get those final two expansions for Fortune and Glory that were supposed to come out like 5 years ago. Maybe we'll finally get them into action. Vinyl has made a resurgence. That is correct. Edison wax cylinders. Basically the first phonograph medium. The sound was recorded on a revolving cylinder, and it had a groove that spiraled around it. Round records won out as being better. Got it. It's not that I did not like the game. I did not like them playing the game. Oh, well, okay. Well, then you did pick up on what I think, what you were wondering about. What I was wondering if you picked up on. It did have those circle things and dice trays. And strays. Things and strays. He's doing his best Michael Jackson impression. Yeah, I get it. He needs a hot water bath. He does, and we'll get him that probably in the near future. But this is Last Night on Earth, and now that I've opened up the game, and again, it's just, man alive. I know it's more than nostalgia, but I really want to play this game again now, because I don't know. It just I'm wondering though if when I play it, the mechanisms are gonna show their age. I don't think the component quality is. I don't think the component quality is showing much age at all, frankly. But I'm wondering if the mechanisms are going to show their age, and I certainly hope not. But I would really like to compare this with Zombicide. Actually, I want to see how the two kind of work out and how the two compare. Maybe that's the project we'll have JT and I take on after he gets back from Adam, is maybe doing a comparison of this and Zombicide. But again, Zombicide has had so many improvements that I almost feel like it would be unfair to compare this to Zombicide, because it does have a lot going for it, but at the same time, oh, I don't think that's the right bag. It's too big. Too big, too big, too big, too big. I know what was going in there. I don't know. We'll have to look at it. I think you're going to have fun with new series on Tuesdays. I think so too. I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be enjoyable. I think that this is that. I think these miniatures are supposed to go in here. Yep, that's exactly where they go. So that goes there. Just trying to find places for everything so that I can get them all back in the right spot here. But let's see here. Derek S. looking at BGG reviews. One person wrote, it's a very good game when it works, which is most of the time, but occasionally the cards massively favor one side and it's a 2-hour disappointment. Agree? Label Sam. Thank you, Eric. I'm such a disappointment to you, aren't I? These are going to go in here, along with all of the miniatures, and then we'll actually even put, I think, put the zombies in here. Well, again, the question was, do I agree? And I don't want to weigh in on that just yet because I haven't played the game in a long time. But I will say that I'm wondering if that's where the game is going to show its age, is in the mechanisms. Because I think that let's see, let's do that. So they can say, I can see that there are heroes on one side and scenarios on the other. Now see, how did this work? I have an extra bag. I know, Eric, labels. All right, so these are going to go back in here on the bottom. And then these are going to go back on here. Put them on the bottom like that, though. And that will go on there like that. And these will go on over here like so. And then this will need to go underneath that. Just like that. We've got, let's put these in there. These in there. These over here, and that right there. Uh-oh. Nope. I gotta move this. How am I gonna fit all this back in here? I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna make it. No, I'm not. That goes there. Yes, I am. I'm gonna do it. These kind of move over. That goes in there. That can go right there. That can go down in that little hole. So can that. That'll go right there. Oh, this needs to go in the bag. Isn't this fun? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Not for you guys. It's fun for me. I don't think it is for you guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Zombie. Hey. We got everything back in here. Must have done something right. Let's see. Do I have the right? Oh, gosh. This thing is so heavy. Okay. So this has to go like that. Let's turn this right side up as well. It's all about presentation when you open the box, yeah? And boom. Oh, no. Upside down. I did it all wrong. I'm sorry. Bada bing, bada boom. And now it's correct. Yes. Bing. So, that has been Last Night on Earth. Stuffed boxes right. Yep. Label the bags. I know. Some old mechanisms stand over time. Some do feel creaky. In any games, I mean, not specifically this one. Like having extra parts left over when you're building IKEA furniture. Not exactly. I can use this for something else, but we'll see. Can't fit everything? Put it on the flip side. Praga, Kaput, Regini, and Origins made me appreciate bags labels. Has a ton of baggy components, yes. Or pretty much any board and dice game. Trajan does too. Yeah, well, that's pretty much the size of it. All right, well, that's pretty much what I had docketed for the day. We talked about Toledo, and we talked about Last Night on Earth. A couple of great games, a couple of games that I think are going to stay on my shelf, especially after opening them up and playing them. Well, I haven't played them yet, but looking at them, I now want to play them again. It has that draw. It still has that staying power that I hope most of the games that we go through on this, because it kind of validates, gives validity to me keeping these games on my shelf, and kind of supports the idea that I wasn't crazy when I decided to keep them. So I'm actually loving this, because I really want to get this to the table, and I really want to get this to the table. And every time that I pull this out, pull these out, at least to this point, 4 episodes in, I'm strengthened. I mean, I'm encouraged to get these back to the table, and I think that they have a staying power on my shelf. So that's a cool thing. That has been Last Night on Earth and Toledo. Thank you for joining us. Come on back in just a few hours. We're going to start, I believe, at 2 o'clock. We're going to play a cool new flip and write game, or actually a flip and sketch game called Blueprints of Mad King Ludwig. Jesse and I are going to, we played a game of it last night. I did a solo game of it, and then I also taught Jesse how to play last night, so we're going to play again today. It will be a paid playthrough. Bezier Games sent us the game and asked us to play it for them, and we're going to be giving a little bit of leeway on that. So, not leeway. We're going to be giving a little bit of a promotion in that respect. So it is a paid playthrough, but it looks like it's going to be a fun game. So come back, check it out. It's called Blueprints of Mad King Ludwig by Bezier Games, designed by Ted Alspach. We're going to be doing that at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so 5 o'clock Eastern, and everybody else in between, you do the math. But we'll be back doing that this afternoon, so we'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Thank you for joining me. Take care.